countless people, I was super inspired by Simone Biles, and particularly so after watching the Netflix documentary Simone Biles Rising. So impressed by her ability to care for herself in Tokyo and step out of the Olympics. I think that the strength that required is almost more impressive to me than her athletic ability. But because of that, I wanted to look at the word rise, and also because rise exhibits some flexibility, like Simone, in the language system, and it's been a topic I wanted to touch on for a bit. There is a way we can phrase things when we're teaching anyone who's learning about the English writing system, English orthography. There's a way we can phrase things that sets them up for the expectation that the system is flexible. So if we look at a word like rise, there's already going to be some kids who've encountered this idea that S spells S, and they're going to have to shift that thinking. We think of rise as a very simple word, R-I-S-E, but the S isn't spelling S, it's spelling Z, rise. So that immediately can be challenging for some children. Now, another way that rise shows flexibility in the system is that I in rise is spelling I, or the tense long I sound, in the word rise, but other members of the family it shifts. We see this if we add the suffix a, we get a rise, but then we go a, R-I-S-E plus E-N, arisen. That I shifts to an I. We see it with rise to risen as well. So this shifting that letters can do within families, it also can happen outside of families, like the letter S, the grapheme S can spell lots of sounds, more than just S and Z. And if we approach our teaching with S can do this, I can do this, it's one of the things it can do, I think we're setting our students up for more flexible thinking. They're not going to have to undo this rigidity that was built in early on. So that's one thing I'd like to encourage parents, teachers, anybody who's influencing literacy. Just think about the language. Is the language you're using accurately representing the future for this child? Are we boxing them in? Rise's early roots are Proto-Germanic. This is another fun one for me because the Dutch word for travel is reis, and those actually are related. Some more distant relatives for rise include raise and rear, like rearing up. So there's other fun ways that we can look at the expansion of the family. And then of course rise, we can build a lot of compounds. We can look how a base and a base connect and we get sunrise, moonrise. And we can look at what happens when there's a final E that's not spelling any sounds. It's a replaceable final E. When do we replace it? What's the environment for that? When can that happen? When can it not? So there's a lot of opportunity for building in a lot of knowledge about the writing system with this one simple word and this one simple family. It's also a really good reminder to stay flexible, to keep that flexibility open. Even as I say this myself, I think about the ways my ideas have shifted in the past decade, let alone 2 decades, as my knowledge has grown, as my understanding of students' need has grown deeper. I've shifted a lot, and I think without that flexibility, I would not be as effective. If you're gonna spell out rise, it's a very simple R-I-S-E. And of course, if you wanna add some prefixes or suffixes, it can be R-I-S, replace the E, I-N-G. Now, when I have kids get going with studying a word family or these concepts of when an E gets replaced. We'll talk about that replaceable E, sometimes speak it when we're spelling out loud, but eventually I let kids drop that. I don't force that because I actually think it's better for their cognitive load to just move to R-I-S-I-N-G. I think there's people that might do some of that differently, but maybe there's room for flexibility there. For those of you who are watching this and who are part of my email list, please give me ideas of words you're curious about. I'm going to keep up the free videos and free PDFs and word study ideas for another month or two, and that's the end of my year commitment to giving this away for free. However, I love this and I'm planning on at least, every month trying to give a little bit of something here and there while I work on other projects and continue my own business. So take advantage of the next few months. If you have questions, shoot me a word that you're curious about and I'll try to work it into one of my videos. All right, thank you.